Hey cutie pies, I am Lanikia and you're watching a new edition of What Happened on the Soaps. This is for the Young and the Restless. Today is Friday, April the 22nd, 2022. All right, on a scale of 1 to 10, listen, it was just, I'll have to give it a 7. I'm just going to give it a 7. Um, so we see that Sharon is with her, surrounded by her family, Nick and her children. Um, Everyone is there except Mariah and then Mariah's fiance Tessa. So they're all just, coping with the Ray being gone. And they're all making plans to be strong for Sharon. And when Sharon comes out, she says, I can do, I can call the family. I can arrange the funeral. I can be strong and do this. And so her first thing is that she calls Celeste, Ray's mother, and she lets him know that he had passed on. And so when she's talking to her and everything, everything is going well until the very end of the conversation. You can tell that Celeste told Sharon something that kind of bothered her. So she gets off the phone and she says Celeste is strong and, she's sad, but she took, to hear the news, but she's strong and everything. And so Nick said, what did she say that made you upset? And at this point, Mariah comes in and Sharon hugs her and everything. So they're all talking. And Sharon says that Ray's mom is like, she wants him to come home. She wants his body to come home for the funeral and everything. And they were like, but Ray's our family and he belongs here. And Sharon was like, I don't want him to come home. But Noah, to me, always the voice of reason. He was like, listen, if we went off and we married and we did all this stuff, our mom would be fighting tooth and nails to bring us home too, because this is home. And hearing it from that perspective, um, Sharon said, yeah, she would. And so they're like, okay, I understand. I'd say have two funerals. You could have one and one there and then one sending him home to Miami and everything. And, that's what I say. I don't know though. So anyways, Sharon is just being so strong, and Tessa and Mariah said, we're going to cancel the wedding, postpone the wedding, not cancel. And she tells them, no, Ray would not want y'all postponing the wedding and everything, but they were going to. And she says, no, y'all have to keep going on. It would make him so happy to see you guys continue to go on. And so and so they say, Sharon says, I have to go to the morgue. And they say, we'll go with you. And excuse me. And so Mariah just tells Sharon, she says, Mom, I know you might not want to hear this, but this is something you would tell me. And you've told me in the past, you got to let your emotions out. And, they all are like, we got you or whatever. And she was like, I can't. I can't let my emotions out because if I do that, I might never recover. She's having a hard time, but she's trying to be strong um, through all of this. So then we go over to Chelsea. So Chelsea is looking at the hockey ticket, and she's just like, Ray never called her. No one ever updated her. And so Adam comes and he says, he took Connor out of school and everything. And she was like, what's going on? And he said, you haven't heard? And she said, heard what? And he was like, there was an accident. And she was like, oh. He tells her, and she was like, oh, so that's why Ray was late. Like she did the same thing Sharon did, not to the extent of Sharon, but where she was like, oh, that's what I'm gonna tease him whenever I talk to him and everything. And then Adam is just like, Chelsea, no, like Ray didn't make it. He died. And so then, of course, she becomes upset and everything. And he tells her it's not anyone's fault, but we have to be strong to get through this for Connor. And he was like, I kept him out of school because I didn't want people to hear. He's at the farm and everything. And so they decided they want to tell Connor about Ray's death. He's going to bring Connor to Chelsea. So that's where they're going to tell him. And he says, I'm gonna go get him to get you some time to, try to pull yourself together and everything. Because she couldn't comprehend it. She was devastated. And so Adam goes and he gets Connor and he comes back and they break the news to Connor. Now, first of all, said, Adam, you are terrible at this. So Chelsea couldn't find the words to tell Connor. So Adam's sitting there with his arm crossed. There was an accident. Ray's dead. I said, damn. That is completely different from the way Nick said it. But I mean, it wouldn't be Adam. But he was supportive of Connor because Connor said, "Oh my gosh, he was on his way back, from getting the tickets or whatever." And Adam and Chelsea just told him it's no one's fault. No one is to blame for this. No, it's no one's fault and everything. And Connor, he said, I feel bad for mom because you and Ray were becoming such good friends and everything. And but he understands it's not his fault, and he's sad about Ray. And but Adam's gonna take him and take care of him while Chelsea, just tries to pull herself together because she's upset. And so Adam and Connor leave, and then Chelsea thinks back to when Rafe, when she asked Ray, would he still want to go because now she has another ticket, and she was like, when Connor found out that I had another ticket and I wasn't taking, I was going instead of you, he was like, oh no, I want Ray to go, and so that's how she got the extra ticket, and she just thinks back to how. She asked Ray, did he still want to go? And he looked back at Sharon and Nick and he said, yeah, I'd love to. And I don't care what nobody say. She knew that there was something between she and Ray. She knew. That's why when Sharon was questioning yesterday, yeah, she knew. And I think if they had let Ray live, that's where this storyline was going to go. He was going to leave Sharon for Chelsea. I think that. But so she's upset about, because she knows what it would have been. All right, so moving on from that, we go to Ashland is in his hotel room thinking back about how he rescued Victoria, and Victor shows up. Victor said, what you still doing in town? He said, Victor, I still need time to heal. And Victor said, no, my boy, you supposed to be leaving. But he said, but tell me what happened with Victoria. So Ashland goes on and tells him what happened with Victoria and the car accident, how he said Ray was driving erratic. I don't know if, he saw something and had to get out the way. I don't know what it was, but he was just driving crazy, and he went into Victoria's lane and everything. So Victor just tells Ashland, I'm sorry, thank you for saving Victoria, but that don't change anything because Ashland was like, you didn't look at me or ask me anything at the hospital. And Victor said, I don't care about you, I care about Victoria. Like, I didn't care what happened to you or whatever, but you need to get out of town. And Ashland said, Victor, I'm not leaving. I got to heal. It's like, I got to heal. And Victor says, well, you better leave town because if you don't, it'll be consequences for that. So then we go to Victoria. So Nikki is over there with Victoria, right? And Nikki she's like, Victoria, you're in the office. And Victoria was like, yes. Victoria still feels guilty because she feels like it's her fault. It's not, girl. I hope the police report shows that it's not. From what Ashland is saying and what they're trying to set up, it looks like Ray was trying to dodge something in the road. And that's why he had the accident. I wonder, is that going to come of anything, or is it just going to be, oh, he just dodged, or is it like something more to that? Probably not. But anyways, Victoria's feeling guilty, so she's at work, and Nikki's just telling her, you can't feel guilty. She said, listen, I know everybody tells me don't feel bad, but she said, I shouldn't have been on the road, which is the same thing Victor told Ashley. He said, if you hadn't done Victoria the way you did her and made her so upset, she wouldn't have been on the road in the first place. So this is your fault. This is you're just as much to blame for this. But anyways, Victoria's just like, I feel so bad for Ray and all that. And I'm like, all these people feel bad, but nobody going over there to talk to Sharon. I guess, but they're gonna let Nick take care of it. But anyways, Nikki just tells her, you need to heal and take care of herself because she's on a walker and she had a sprained knee and everything. So, anyways, she's talking to Nikki, but she's still working, and Nikki's working in the office with her and everything. And Ashland calls her. So she tells her, Mom, I have to take this. And Ashland's like, I'm surprised you picked up. And she said, what do you want? Victoria, stop playing. You know you still want to be with this man or whatever, and this is going to be your way to try to still be with him. I don't know if Ashland signed a long contract, but we're going to see if he leaves town or not. So then she's talking to Ashley, and he talking about, I just wanted to check on you. I'm so glad nothing happened. And she was like, you saved my life and all that again. I can't go through this again. It was the same thing they've been saying for the past 2 days. You saved my life. Why did you do that? Because I still love you. Yada, yada, yada. Then Victor comes in the room and she says, I gotta go. Hangs up the phone. She hung up the phone quick. And so, Victor says, she said, he was like, why are you still here? And she says, I had to come into work, to keep her mind off things. And he says, well, what about, so you can heal and everything. We continue to let Adam be the temp CEO. And she said, absolutely not. Girl, your job is gone. But anyways, that was the Young and the Restless today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I will see you Monday for a new episode.